Well, I'm real happy to bring on today's guest. Jeff Hyman launched his recruiting career at Heidrick & Struggles and Spencer Stewart, the preeminent global executive search firms. Today, he's Chief Talent Officer at Chicago-based Strong Suit Executive Search. Along the way, Jeff created 4 companies backed by $50 million in venture capital. He currently teaches the MBA course about recruiting at Kellogg School of Management and hosts the 5-star Strong Suit podcast. He's been featured by Inc., Fortune, Forbes, Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, and the list is endless, as they say. His fabulous new book is titled Recruit Rockstars, great title, the 10-step playbook to find the winners and ignite your business. With that, welcome, Jeff, to the ExecuNet stage. They're all yours.
So I've learned over time that there are 5 essential principles that make a great job search process. And I would venture to say that most candidates violate 2 or 3 of the 5. And I call them the 1Q and the 4 Bs. So let's just take a minute and kind of go through them, and I'll try to give you some examples. The Q, of course, is to quantify. And a lot of individuals who may not have looked for a role in a long time, perhaps you've been at a company for 20 years and you're just starting out to look for something new, don't take the time to quantify their accomplishments, quantify their achievements. Every employer is looking for an individual who can make an impact, who can come in and demonstrate that they can move the needle. It doesn't matter if that individual is moving the top line needle in sales and revenue, if they're moving the marketing needle in building brand awareness and conviction, in reducing costs, right? If it's operations and logistics, wherever you may fall in an organization or in a P&L, it's incumbent upon you to quantify the impact that you've made in the different places that you've been over the course of your career, particularly most recently. Most candidates don't do this. I wish I could tell you why. I don't quite understand it. But when you see resumes that are filled with job descriptions, what they did, as opposed to the quantified impact, how they did, what were the results, that's what makes the difference between an individual that I want to interview or a company wants to interview or doesn't. So very important to think about quantifying. The first B is to be informed. And I'm going to talk about this in detail in a minute, but what I mean about be informed is it's incumbent upon you to be informed on what you're great at, what it is you want, what's happening in your industry, what's happening at the companies that you're talking to, their organizational constraints and design. There's no excuse for not doing research. Yet time and time again, I interview candidates and my clients interview candidates who demonstrate not even the least bit of information or curiosity that makes a company say, wow, this person has a genuine conviction and wants to join us for a good reason, not just a paycheck. So it's incumbent upon the individual, upon you, to be informed as you go through this process. Next is be brief. Whatever you're writing, whatever you're saying, however you're answering the question, cut it in half. The average resume gets a 6-second review. The average interview is about 70 minutes. During that time, it's incumbent upon you, the individual, to convey certain things, to persuade the individual hiring manager or company or executive recruiter that you're the right person, or at least a right person for that job. There are key essential elements of doing that. And being brief, using brevity to your advantage, is actually a differentiator. Most individuals, just as they do in the sales process, think about a sales rep. Most sales reps tend to show up and throw up, right? They tend to talk and talk and talk, sell their product, all the benefits, all the features. They don't stop to ask questions and be consultative about what's needed. They don't focus on just the few essential elements that will make the difference. Instead, they are randomly dumping a lot of information, whether it's in writing or verbally, hoping that something will stick. And it really works against them. Same in the job search process, which is clearly a sales process. Brevity really makes a big difference. It's so rare that actually you will differentiate yourself by staying focused and being brief on why you're the right person for that company, for that opportunity. Next, and I know this sounds quite cliche, is to be you. When an individual contorts themselves to get a role or get a job and joins a company, almost every time I see it not work out, and that person is gone within a week, a month, a quarter, a year, and then you're back to square one. Not only are you back to square one, but you've done damage to your great career, because now you have these short stub periods where it looks like you don't have consistency, you don't have the wherewithal to see things through. Only by being yourself, your genuine personality, your genuine DNA, your genuine passions, can you hope to find the right opportunity where you're going to succeed and stay, and the company is going to invite you to stay. So being you is very important. I see a lot of authenticity lost in the job search process. People put on a persona, they put on a uniform, and what companies and recruiters such as myself want to actually see is the authentic individual. Is this person a match for our DNA? Is this person going to enjoy working here? Am I going to like working with this person? And only through authenticity can you do that. And by be unsafe, what I mean is follow the principles that I'm going to walk you through today to try to be a bit different, to try to circumvent, to try to find every opportunity that you can exploit, and don't be so safe in the job search process. I would say 95 to 99% of the inquiries I receive from individuals looking for an opportunity every single day, they are safe. They are all the same, very plain vanilla. It's very hard to differentiate yourself and to break through that clutter if you are a traditional, consistent individual who's doing what everyone else is doing. So these are key guiding principles. Quantify what you've done and what you can do. And I mean quantify. Stay informed, especially if you're unemployed currently and full-time job seeker. It's even doubly incumbent upon you to be informed on what's happening in your chosen sector. Be short, be yourself, and like I said, break the rules.